Why wait around?
We're ready.
Oh, damn.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Let's
Let's go.
I didn't even
ready.
get comfy yet.
Did that team
we're
play
ready.
defense, or did that team play defense?
We're in 1080 full HD tonight too, I think.
It's called
that
4K. We want to be 4K.
We are 4K. We're like 8K.
Actually, we're 5K. Look at us. 5 of us. 5K.
Look at us.
Not bad.
This was what. Let's celebrate. Nobody gets to say a bad thing tonight. Okay.
Yeah, not bad. Come on, Bobby. Where's that enthusiasm?
Yeah, it was a start. We'll see. Rack them up.
We were almost
Wow.
perfect.
Wow.
We
So
were
the Orlando Magic one night, the Heat, the best team in the league.
This is a huge win. Yeah, this is.
You're not
ginormous.
entertained. All right.
Yeah, I-
Ginormous.
perfect.
We got it. We got the
I am-
ginormous from Bobby.
I am thoroughly impressed with this victory, the defensive intensity. What did we talk about all afternoon? The importance of defense, setting a tone on that end of the floor, getting it moving, and that allowed Brown to have a huge game. Now he's hurt to some degree, which is too bad out of this one, but
Oh,
This
that's why,
team's
Bobby.
finally-
That's why he's down.
this team's
Did we
finally
just say
starting
not to
string
say
together.
anything bad? Like a second ago.
Listen, the most important thing is this team's finally stringing together defensive stops. And John, guess who was key in it? Romeo
China shop.
Langford.
My guy.
I can't
I
believe
thought-
you guys are gonna give Romeo all this love without even mentioning my boy.
He was plus
Neesmith.
25.
We're
You
gonna
gotta
talk.
mention my boy Neesmith too, though.
We're going to talk about Neesmith, but
Well.
look, second half usage has to show you exactly where they are with Neesmith right now. You're on a back-to-back, and they had to play the bench some minutes, so you gave them run early, and they made the most of it, which is great. But you get into a tighter game in the second half, and it's terrifying to put Neesmith in the game because what you wanted to avoid were runs, and that's why he can't be really fully trusted.
But he wasn't.
However, you got what you needed and what you wanted out of him, and we're going to take the baby steps because no one's saying anything negative today because it was great, and Neesmith did exactly what you would want. He's a friggin' lunatic with his
that run in the
Absolutely.
But you know what?
It's
He's
huge.
our lunatic.
an insane person that literally was scaring the Heat into turning the ball over. He was just like, he's that guy in pickup going, "Bleh," and you're like, oh my God, and you
Did you
freak
see-
out.
They're clearing the
At
lane
least
for
one
him.
time Where Bam Adebayo is looking over like, who the hell is this
He's like,
dude?
what the fuck is that?
The
You
ball
know?
comes flying off in the transition.
This was to me. This is the Aaron Neesmith type of game where you have to unleash, where you have no
It was
choice
great.
to be physical to compete. I mean,
Yeah.
he was all over the place. We've seen this Aaron Neesmith all the time, but the Heat weren't ready for that. They weren't
Yeah.
ready for this
Nah.
time bomb to just blow up in the face. And the thing about him is,
Nobody's ever ready for that.
no,
Right.
no.
Especially,
I've never seen him
especially that
before.
with that battery pack. That thing's been charging for weeks.
True.
He's been trying to
Great
get in
point.
there.
He was like the Energizer
Outside-
bunny out there, man.
Outside of garbage time in Orlando, which kind of got him on the right foot, right? Got to heat him
Yeah.
up a bit.
Finally made a shot.
Yeah, led right into this.
Yeah. He's
And then
like,
my guy Romeo, big shots, big
Huge.
shots.
He ain't good
4 to
defense.
3s. Good
Romeo
defense,
again,
yeah.
if not for preferential treatment, superstar calls, he played Butler pretty straight up. A couple of those foul calls were garbage. He played him pretty straight up and took the body and stayed in front of him. He was great. Butler's going to get a couple calls, and he tried to physical him. He initiated contact on a couple of those calls too. And they called it on Romeo, which was too bad because Romeo played pretty well, I thought. He stood his
Romeo's
ground.
got to tap into the
Absolutely.
Marcus Smart school of flopping and just add a little bit because there was one where Jimmy just lowered the shoulder, and Romeo, if you just take 3 or 4 steps back,
Boom. Yeah.
Yeah.
you're gonna get the call.
Because he took it and he held his ground, and then they
Right.
called him on something that didn't really exist right after that. So
Yeah.
that's annoying. But again, that's what you want. You want him in there.
The one time you want Neesmith to fall, he doesn't. He's falling all over the place for 47 minutes.
Yeah, there was one play where he fell, and I swear, like 10 feet away from him, Romeo, not even part of the play, he fell also. It was like, I don't know what it is.
the
It's like
problem.
They're on the
They're
same
They're on the
wavelength right
ground.
now.
Yeah.
They're on
Smart
the
was
same
doing
wavelength.
it. Everybody.
The problem with these guys will be, the consistency factor, because now everyone's going to be freaking out and seeing, we said play the kids, play them again. And we've seen this before where the next time out, it's not the same. And you're like, oh God, you got to get him out of there. So you'd love to see him string together a couple performances because this team would be so much better if you had, kind of youth and athleticism and a little bit more of a dynamic spark coming off.
Yeah,
the
did
bench
anyone
as
miss
opposed to-
Richardson tonight? I don't think so. I don't think so,
No.
and that's why we saw way more of Romeo and Neesmith.
And I don't get it. Josh hasn't been that bad. I mean, they've had,
Yeah.
He hasn't been that good
if
either.
Jimmy, if you put in like order of who has been crappy versus who has been not quite as crappy, he's not at the front.
But
of the crap
almost
He's not at the front, but like
almost every lineup,
The crap pile.
almost every lineup with Richardson is in the friggin' tank numbers wise. You know, in terms of net rating,
he's
across
been
the board.
fine.
Every Richardson lineup is bad right now.
I don't even think he's been fine.
He's been a basketball
He's
player.
the common denominator in almost every one of the worst lineups that they put out there. He really has been.
He gets
Right.
his 12-footers
Because he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, he shot okay from.
It's
30 to
almost the
50,
opposite of doing nothing. It's like we said we wouldn't say bad things. Why are we saying bad things about Josh?
Well, no, we
Richardson?
said we
said
wouldn't say
he
bad
can't
things
help
about, but he wasn't part
Actually,
of the
no, Jimmy
game,
said
so he's fair game. He wasn't part of tonight's performance.
Jimmy was the one that brought him into the conversation.
Yeah.
Because you need to say one of the reasons why Neesmith and Romeo played more tonight is because Richardson didn't play. So you at least needed to mention.
Yeah, but that's not how you said it, Jimmy.
that he
You were
didn't
like,
play.
"Why did anybody
I
miss
asked
that
you
bum?"
guys.
Yeah,
I
you
asked
said-
no.
you said-
I just asked
Yeah,
you
that's
guys
exactly
if you
it.
missed him. I just asked if you missed him, and I was waiting for your
Black
answer.
Jimmy doesn't mean you a gangster. I mean, you're not trying to fuck us.
Did anybody miss Richardson? I just asked the question. It was up to you guys
Anybody?
to answer it.
Honestly, I forgot he existed.
Yeah.
I really did.
There you
Like
go.
I forgot he was alive. You know, like didn't even think about him. Never crossed my mind. When you just said Richardson didn't play, I was like, you're right. I just didn't even.
Yeah.
I was like, good. I was like, that's not bad.
If
Yeah.
it wasn't for when the camera panned left to right and he was like telling jokes on the bench, I would have been in the same thing. But I was like, at that
Right.
point in the game, I was like, oh, where's Richardson at? He hasn't been in yet.
Well, like we've talked about, Richardson's an on-ball player. Neesmith, Langford, these guys cut. They shoot off the ball. These are guys who are more
Cutting.
comfortable in those kind of spots.
They did
Yeah.
a little bit more, but not as much as I wish they did.
Yeah.
Because Romeo was spending way too much time out in the corner, and I get it. He's that safety valve when you suck the defense in. But I still would like to see him moving more off the ball and them looking for him.
Yeah.
When
This was a low assist game. This is the type of game if they scored 95 points and lost, and we were like, look at it, only 16 assists, 95 points. This is garbage. So offensively, nothing was really fixed.
Well,
but
yeah, because sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's where defense comes into play. We got
Right,
Frozen
which is
John.
exactly why we
They
knew.
have to win.
I was thinking.
Right, like going into this, I was like, you have to keep it going from the entire first quarter and on, and to a certain extent they did. I mean, they lit up here and there in that first quarter as they made their adjustments. But man, Miami, their offense went ice cold in that second half, and I think honestly the defense catapulted the offense, and it was the same sort of offense where everyone was sharing the ball. You know, it wasn't as pretty at first. You know, Marcus Smart had a lot of open shots that he took. And yeah, you know that's what Miami wanted, right? But they adjusted. You know, they kept swinging the ball. They found it. They found better opportunities, high percentage opportunities, in my opinion. But it all started with the defense. It all started with the consecutive stops.
It did, but on offense, when you talk about them finding better opportunities, you had situations where Marcus Smart has the ball and he's looking in front of him and he sees Jimmy Butler and he looks to his right and sees Schroeder is being guarded by Hero. So what does he do?
Yeah.
Pass the block.
I
Take
thought
advantage
Smart
of
was
mismatch.
sensational.
This was such a smarter game that they played. I mean, simply taking advantage of the mismatches you have, and this was ego-free basketball. This was as ego-free basketball as we've seen this team play, where they literally did what you're supposed to do. When you play pickup game, and there's that one matchup that you
Recognize
know
the
you get a
mismatch,
bucket on, you go to it.
Yeah.
It's not that complicated.
I like how Al was active for that rock in the paint because he had that one-on-one with Markieff, and he was like, "Oh, let's go. We can go back to old times when he was with the Warriors. I mean, with the Wizards in that playoff series. Like he knows he's gonna win that matchup. Worst case scenario, he gets fouled and goes to the free throw line, and that's exactly what happened. You know,
Right?
Yeah,
and
that's a good point.
Right, and the guys around Tatum and Brown, I thought did a better job of taking advantage of the attention those guys draw, because they're still missing way too many shots, in my opinion. They're still missing way too many wide open shots.
Yeah, that's why the assists were lower.
Yeah, but at least they are.
We gotta look at
making
the
strides in that
potential
direction.
assists.
What's that?
We gotta look at the potential assists.
Yeah,
That's the best. That's my favorite. That's what
That's
my
gonna be the
favorite
Celtics. That's gonna be
Here
the
we go.
Celtics stat of the year.
Yeah, they created that shit.
They just created the nerd stat potential assist.
Before the Orlando game, there's a huge. I mean, basically, those guys are potential assists about the same as it was last year, and yet their assist numbers are down, which tells you guys aren't making shots.
Yeah, and we saw that in the opening stretch. Smart was wide open like 3 times in the first 6 minutes and just clank.
Yeah, but that's what Miami wants you to do, right? They want Smart to
How do you quantify a potential assist? Like, what's the parameters involved? Because I mean,
see the options
any pass is so just any pass to a guy who shoots it is a potential
any
assist.
pass that would qualify as an assist is a potential assist.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I think it's that simple.
Okay, any shot is a potential point. Then we just do potential points.
No, but the assists don't climb that high.
Well, potential steals. If you're playing defense on somebody, that's potentially a steal. If you get a hand on the ball.
I mean, it's like when you miss.
I can feel it. Jimmy can't enjoy the fact that they won again, so he's just going to be.
This doesn't feel like I missed anything of that.
I was about to break it down. I almost fell for that shit.
Get it, Josue.
You're just being the Grinch.
No, I actually that was an honest question.
That is a good question.
I'm not afraid of Jimmy Toscano just because he got on his gangster black. I'm not afraid of you.
I'll black everything tonight. Listen, I'll black everything. No one's calling me French tonight. But listen, Josue, I was a serious question. Like, what quantity? I don't know.
If rocking the hoodie. I ain't from France.
If you gotta be like, like a shot that's more than a foot away from a defender and he misses. I don't know. I guess I can just look it up at some point. So we don't need to go. We don't need to go on about it, but I don't want to get hung up on potential this, potential that all season.
The bottom line, Jimmy,
get ready,
guys
Jimmy.
about making shots, and tonight they did a better job of that. And they won.
Yeah, right.
And they needed it on a night when Tatum could not hit a shot to save his life for like 3+ quarters.
Before we get into Tatum, what about Horford's dunk? We have to mention that dunk. Where did that come from?
You're talking
came from
about,
like 10 years ago.
Yeah, the one where he got fouled.
Yeah, when he drove the lane, he got fouled, he just threw it down. Where did that come from? That was I said that was dad's strength right there.
Came from the streets of the Dominican Republic. That's where that came from.
Al, look at Josue. I see you.
Here comes Bobby.
That's where that came from. That's that pride.
Bobby.
Right? See, that's the kind of player the Celtics need in moments like this. Like, look, I want to show you guys how to put some pride out there. This is what you go in the middle, show them that you wanted more, and you'll part the Red Sea. And that's what happened, really. Like, he had that look on it. He took advantage of the opportunity. And I thought there was a couple of chances that were I wanted to see Tatum do that, but he started doing it in the fourth quarter finally. But
we said yesterday on the show, one of our closing statements,
go dunk. Come on, Tatum, just dunk.
Was to play with pride, show some pride. Sherrod said went off on it yesterday, and credit to them, they did. They competed. They more than competed. I mean, they kind of blew the Heat away from. They had a healthy lead for the 3 quarters of this game. The Heat tried to claw back in the third there, but they kept them at bay and they pushed it back out. So that's the type of performance. When you see a performance like that, that's why it's so frustrating when you see a game like you saw on Monday and earlier this year. That's why we get so hard on these guys, because we know what they're capable of when they put in that effort and show that pride in themselves and in the team.
Yeah. Well, I am impressed by what Smart was able to do after that opening.
Smart had a great game tonight.
He ramped the shooting down. He got in the lane. I thought that string where you got to the free throw line twice in a row, hit that floater. Mm-hmm. It was just a great transition for him in terms of how he's approaching the game right now. And he was getting guys shots. He was a big part of forcing 10 turnovers in that second quarter. He's really getting back to himself on the defensive side of the floor right now. And to see him kind of bounce back and hold himself accountable to play higher in these last couple of games, I think has been huge, and be more of that point guard that they're looking for in that spot. It wasn't going to work the way he was playing early, where they were getting him these wide open shots. He just can't make a three. It's not happening for him. So he's got to find other ways. He had to approach the game in a different kind of way. And I think he adjusted so well throughout the course of this one. I think many players on the Celtics, they saw some things not work and went in different directions. And Al was one of them too, getting downhill off the dribble on that play. It looks like he never left. I got to say it every single day. It's unreal what Horford is doing right now for this team. Jimmy, I also got the potential assist definition.
What do you got? Let's hear it.
And any pass to a teammate who shoots within one dribble of receiving the ball. So any pass that leads to a shot.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Wah, wah, wah. So again,
any pass that goes to a teammate who shoots is a potential assist.
Oh my God.
I mean, what are we talking about here? Somebody who just let's count the misses. Okay, let's count the misses.
Pretty much.
Well, that's what it is, right?
That could have been an assist. Yeah.
Any shot that goes up could be an assist.
Oh, congrats to the nerds who who created another useless stat. But
you
anyways,
you guys did it.
Someone just did one of
I
these.
mean, look,
Congratulations.
I get it in the sense of, look,
It's
you
valid for
passed-
the Celtics.
You passed it to a person who was able to create a shot easily off of that pass. When it goes in, you get the assist, but you didn't do anything different. So I understand it.
Sure.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
I wish there was some metric for, like, look, at the end of the day, like, did the pass lead to the shot, or did you just literally hand it to a guy who dribbled once right next to you and shot? It's a different story. So not all potential assists are made the same.
Right, but also
know.
like just watch the game. Just what do you see? Like,
That's what
do you
I-
see
You
a
watch
guy
the game,
making
you
good
see-
passes? Then
You see
okay.
Tatum and Brown make passes and guys miss shots.
Yeah,
Tatum
so then,
Tatum made more passes than the assists that he got tonight. He had 2 assists tonight, but he looked like he was moving the ball well. I thought.
I think he's what, Sherrod? 8 potential assists a game?
He averaged going into the Orlando game. He averaged 8 potential assists a game.
How
And
many
his
moral
act-
victories did they get? 2.
At
It's all
least
the-
2.
We got a lot of participation trophy of almost
Pot-
assists, moral victories.
potential victories, right?
Well, again, this is something.
Any game you show up to is a potential victory.
This is
Hey,
something-
potential is there.
I want the questionable call against my team stat. That's the one I want.
If you put 5 on the floor, it's a potential victory. It
Yeah,
counts.
yeah.
This one
Games
did get
played
scary.
is just potential wins now. Games played is potential wins. Replace that stat.
GP to PW.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, but I mean, how
This
much
one
of
did
t-
get scary in the third, though. It did.
It did, and good for them for that run right there at the end. Grant Williams looked like he was single-handedly trying to give. How many potential assists to the Heat did Grant Williams have in that stretch?
Right.
My God! But they buttoned it up there, and it went from 9 to 17 again right there at the end of that third, which was huge. Because if they got into that fourth quarter single digits, they start to get tight again. ISO.
Yeah.
It could have gotten away. That was the
Duncan
ball
Robinson
game.
threes.
They won it there. It never got closer. They kind of kept them at arm's length. But if they didn't close that third that way, that would have been scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They kept with it. They did.
No, putting in the Romeo Neesmith lineup again made a big difference there. Those were the guys that they were just thriving with throughout the course of this game.
Yeah.
Brown had a couple big shots in there, and really, he's just kind of their generator right now in terms of offense. When they can get him going on the break, when they can get him going downhill, and even some of the spot ups he hit on switches against Bam, they were able to take advantage of a really good defender in Bam in this one, which impressed me too. Just so much good stuff on the offensive end of the floor, coming off defense. And
That's the first comment you post. We had some better comments than that.
Oh, come
I
on.
don't know.
You want to hear us
What's the
talk
point
bad
of
about the
this?
Celtics?
What's the point of this podcast?
I mean, Bobby.
but
Yeah.
your point
Al
Who are
about-
we angry at?
Al had that play that really shut it down. That's what it was.
The dunk?
The dunk, you think?
Yeah,
Quick-
right there,
quick
the
up-
run stop.
People are asking for it, so I'll give you guys a quick update on Jaylen Brown. Ime Udoka said after the game that he's experienced problems in that area before, so they were playing it safe. However, they said they will know more tomorrow. So that's what we got as far as Jaylen is concerned. Left the game with the hamstring situation. So we'll have to see how that goes. I hate hamstrings. I'd rather he'd tear his ACL.
Oh, here we go.
No, I'm
again.
just kidding. But I'm just kidding. But hamstrings drive you nuts because that's soft. It's like, is he ready to go? And is it too early? And if it was too early, then you re-aggravate it. So like, honestly, like with stuff like that, you're just take your time, just take your time and get back. And then don't have a re-aggravation. Any Christian McCaffrey owner over the last 2 years probably understands hamstrings.
Yeah, there's no timetable for when you can come back. I mean, it's not like a
just
sprained
wait.
ankle where a 2 to 4 week period or whatever you can come back. But hamstrings, they could be a couple days, could be a couple weeks, could be a couple months. You never know.
I hate it.
I remember the nagging thing that hit him in that 2018 series, though. It was like, oh, geez, he might miss this whole series. And he didn't even miss a game, did he, right? So he's recovered well from this in the past. He does kind of have a running thing with this. And, he'll probably be back sooner than we think in this regard if it lines up against what he's done in the past. But I remember that 2018 series against Philly where it looked like he was really hurt bad, and the way he bounced back. This guy bounces back from injuries pretty quickly. Unless he gets the surgery on the wrist like he did last year. But overall, he's able to play through a lot, it feels like, and be effective. I'm worried about Tatum's health.
But he gets banged up a lot, though.
Yeah,
he does.
You're starting to say, wow, this guy's injuries start. You can almost
look at the way he plays.
Well, I know that's his
the
style.
floor,
He's all
going
over
in
the
the
place.
contact.
He's an athletic guy. It seems that like the more athletic you are, the more injury prone you get. I mean, some of these. Not saying that he's injury prone, but it just seems like he's always got something going on.
Was Tatum back on the bike tonight?
Yes, he was. And like long stretches out of the game, there's something's up there to me. He's not, I know you're going to make the case, John, but he's not this bad. 3/4 of scoreless basketball. When have we ever seen that from Tatum?
Well, what I said to you guys is if he was hurt, why is Ime playing him with a 22-point lead and 3 minutes left in the game? Like how?
Yeah, that's what doesn't make sense. I don't think he's hurt in a sense that he can make. He can hurt himself more.
Maybe he's just uncomfortable or something. Uncomfortable in some way.
Whatever it is, looseness, who knows what it is exactly. What it is right now, I'll ask you guys, like, is he just slower to recognize? He just looks a step slower this year, slower to recognize the double. He's definitely getting frustrated. He's getting eaten up a little bit. So he's just... And then he's just a little snake bitten. He's missing stuff he's going to make. He's lot
of it. 43% at the rim. It's crazy.
The at the rim stuff is nuts because he's not great there, but he's definitely way below expectation. And he's missing a ton of open shots. There's no reason to believe that's not going to correct itself at some point or another. But he doesn't look like he's getting what he wants right now offensively. And I think he is getting frustrated by constantly getting blitzed. You could see even late in the game, when he was out there, Miami's still constantly looking over, to look for that double. He took advantage late of the only couple of times where he had single defenders on him. He blew by Harrow there for that bucket, and he got a couple buckets late there. But teams are just throwing two guys at him, and he's not responding too well, I don't think.
Yeah, it was almost as if late in the game going up against Hero, it was like, oh, this is what Jalen was going through. Oh, no wonder. Like
he's like, this is great. I love this.
Yeah, this is great. I can body this guy.
That Hero defense. We talked
honestly,
about
John, I feel like it's a testament to a lot of what Marcus Smart said, right? Like the game plan, you want to stop this team, you stop Jason Tatum, and I think the Miami Heat, the best defense in the NBA, the best record, that's exactly what they did. They had a game plan that was designed to completely take him out of the game and rattle him. That's exactly what they did. That's what happened.
No, but it shouldn't be this easy. 0 for 3. Like that's just startling from him.
A lot going on, a lot of pressure right now, Bobby. I mean, he's under a microscope in a way he's never been. If you think about it.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to find a greater balance between the passing and the shooting. But I see him going the 16 feet instead of some of the threes, trying to find a place where he can just comfortably get the ball in the bucket. And it's like nowhere. Jump shot wise is comfortable for him right now, efficient. Those are shots he can usually make in his sleep, getting to his mid-range spot. You don't like seeing him take a ton of them, but if he's trying to find some comfort, that's usually a spot he can go to and find something. But right now it's like nowhere on the floor. Post-ups have been a disaster for him statistically. The drives to the lane, he's been completely off. And of course his 3-point shot is just a mess to start this year. Like it's like nowhere he goes, he can find his footing, which is crazy when we think about how balanced and fundamental he usually is as a scorer. Makes me think something's up.
I don't think so. I think there's a.
So they're just throwing double teams at him, and he's a 10-point a game scorer now.
Bobby, he's not a top 5 in the NBA, man.
Pretty much, Bobby.
This is a guy that was scoring 60.
I don't know, Sherrod. What do you see?
I see Tatum that looks a step slower than what we've seen in the past.
Slow. Yeah.
And I don't know whether it's he's put on some mass, so that might have something to do with it. But the fact that every game you see him on the bike makes me believe that there's something that he physically has to do to stay warm, stay ready. And I don't know whether it's an injury, I don't know whether it's just soreness or whether they're just trying to keep him loose. But there's something that he's doing now that is leading to him doing things a little bit differently in terms of his end game, staying in the moment, which again, I don't know if it's an injury or not, but something's triggering him doing this now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're all hating on Tatum. I mean, we're just acknowledging that like something's off, like clearly. I mean, I don't know anyone can watch the games and be like, yeah, he looks good to me. Nothing to see here.
I mean, a lot of it is because of the standard that he set for himself. I mean, if he was a buster, we wouldn't be saying much about him because he would be playing like a buster. But he's
I
not.
agree with Darwin here. I like him in the post a lot more. I wish he would set up there. Again, what do you do when stuff's not falling? You get a little closer. Like just you work your way. You go inside
you get to the
out.
line.
Like Paul Pierce used to do.
Get to the line, get some layups, get yourself going that way. I just think like he keeps shooting to see if it's there early in the game and it's not there. And he's like, oh man, and then he just doesn't really know what to do. And then, the around the rim stuff is baffling right now. It's baffling. So that's got to be frustrating as hell because even when he's getting good looks around the rim, he's missing them. So he's just snake bitten like crazy, but he's just got to get more easy buckets, more to the free throw line right now. And then work through the shooting woes, whatever they are. It's a rhythm thing.
Joe, I feel like if he's not curling, the top of the key or those little cuts that he does here and there, like that's pretty much it.
But
Like
he's getting doubled on the perimeter, so I'd work him in the post a little bit more. Like that's what I would say.
I agree with that for sure. But I just think when it comes to him trying to be more flexible, like he's got to sort of, just dig in, pick his spots.
They can always collapse on him, and everything goes back to the shooting, right? Yep. There's no shooting on the perimeter. You see 3-4 guys in the paint when he gets there, and he just gets, as you said, swallowed up.
Yeah.
Post up, same deal. That's usually a spot he can create from and thrive in. And again, when you have Schroeder, Richardson, and Smart out there like they do sometimes, it's just non-factor. And nice to finally see some shooting on the perimeter around these guys today from some of the younger guys. I mean, people were calling for it. I finally relented yesterday, and you got to give it to the Neesmith people, the people that want to see him out there. It made a difference tonight. Langford too. The shooting's at such a premium. They got to find a way to mix in some of these guys. And
we need to bring Apology Cam back, John, because that was apology right there. And
I think Richard
just apologize.
Yeah, he pretty much.
I did yesterday.
For what?
For shitting on all the young guys and saying that they should never play again.
Did?
Yep.
Damn it.
Yep. He did.
There we go.
He did. First one of the year. First one of the year.
For everybody who wanted to see
Neesmith.
For everyone who wanted to see Neesmith, you saw him. It was good. You're
Oh, he's speechless. Right. He's speechless. He's absolutely speechless. He's never had to apologize.
That's what we pay him the big bucks for.
You're affirmed. Yes.
That's what we do.
I enjoyed that one.
We got it. Well said, Bobby. First apology cam is like it's preseason effort on that apology. Cam.
You weren't ready. You didn't really
haven't used it in a while.
He wasn't ready.
Right about a lot of things.
He damn sure wasn't ready.
We threw him right into regular season action there. He wasn't ready.
It's okay. We'll let you apologize again some other time.
Believers are affirmed. There you go.
I got to be more alert there. I missed one. Sorry. Next time, somebody kick me.
It is one game. Like no one's saying that Neesmith's going to be all in NBA. But my whole thing, and I think everyone else who
Bobby, I don't think you should have apologized for that. That wasn't fair.
No, he should have.
All anyone wanted to do was see him.
He should have because he didn't want Neesmith to see the court. So he apologized for that, which is fair. And my whole thing was, you got to let these guys at least play. You can't just bench him for 2 weeks just because he started the season 0 for 10. Oh, he's 0 for 10. Okay, well, like every single player in the NBA goes 0 for 10 at some stretch of their career or season. I mean, look at Tatum right now. I'm not comparing the two players, but just to say the point, you got to give him a longer chance than that. Put him out there, let him see what he does, and if it doesn't go well, just take him out again. But to bench guys, especially the young guys, 2, 3, 4 games in a row, it's ridiculous. It's what we dealt with Brad last year too.
You think if that didn't happen, that we get this tonight in Miami, the way he performed? I don't think so. Honestly, I think all of those stacking up those DMPs sort of built this moment up for him.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
To John's point at the beginning, he's been in the league long enough to know, okay, second night of the back-to-back, things didn't go great in Orlando. I'm probably gonna get a shot here. Let me make the most of it, especially since at the tail end of that blowout loss of the Magic, I broke through. I finally made a shot. My first 3 of the season. Here I come. I think that all that is. Did Ime predict this? Is this all pre-calculated? Not quite sure, but I honestly do.
You're not quite sure?
Those DMPs is what led to this. I think.
Oh my God, that's backwards thinking. I don't know how a DMP.
You know what's a great moment? Post-game interviews tonight. Ime Udoka, Romeo,
Neesmith. Yeah.
Perfect.
They did
Those
it
are
big
easy.
time.
Those are easy choices for them.
It's not going to be Tatum and Jalen is hurt.
Wait, so when's Tatum going to
give us the kids?
Never again.
When's he gonna sit up to the mic?
The more
when he
Grant they can
when he
get up
plays
there, the
well
better.
and they win. We'll hear
We
from
still
Tatum the
haven't heard
next
from
time.
Tatum since Marcus you called him a B.
The next time Tatum plays well and they win, that's when he'll get the podium.
I'm waiting for the clap back. Damn it! Where's the clap back? Jalen got his shots in. Ime had his 2 cents. Tatum, it's your turn. Come on, man.
By the time he's not going to be 19 anymore. By the time we finally talk to him about that,
Isn't that
By
like
this
so
point-
Tatum
by
though?
this
Like
point, you
he
can't-
doesn't really
by
get
this point,
emotional about that
You
stuff.
can't drop the diss track. Too much time has gone by.
Right.
yeah, he'd be
That's
like,
something.
"Oh crap!" He's like, "We've already fought about 3 other things since then."
Mhm.
You know, we had
Which
breakfast.
would be
Damn
right,
it!
but you totally see that coming. It 100% is going to happen.
We had breakfast.
He has to
Is
bring up the
Jason
breakfast. I
at the
hope he
podium? Jason might be there too. Oh, maybe we'll hear from him.
If
What?
Tatum never brings up the breakfast, then
We
it's
have to
irrelevant.
we have to scrub the last 2 minutes of our show if he goes to the podium.
Yeah, we can do it.
We have to beep it
We
out.
have a YouTube editor.
Yeah, we can just beep it out.
I edit out all my dumb shit
Wow, you must not have
Dude,
too much
all
out
night
there.
long. I'm up there like this. Like,
You must do a lot of editing.
how many bad takes did I have? Oh my god. That's why I never have an apology cam. You can never find the evidence.
And John always drops that line. Go back. Look at the tape.
Look at the tape.
Yeah,
I'm
go
not
look
going
at
to
the
find it.
tape.
I definitely didn't
Yeah.
say that. Definitely not. All right, guys. You know what? We're pretty calm, right?
Yeah.
we are.
Finally, it's
We are.
working.
We are pretty calm. We want to
Are we
tell you
calm
about
because of the game, or are we calm because of
Thursday night.
calm.com?
I think we're happy. I think we're
Both.
happy tonight.
Both, Jimmy.
Exactly.
Are we?
Both.
Are we not? We're
It's
just going to take
especially calm.
a brief second to talk about our sponsor. We'll get right back to all the stuff that you guys want to talk about tonight. We'll take some user comments. We want to hear from you guys. Large crowd tonight, so we definitely want to,
yeah?
you know, want to kick it around with you. But we do want to tell you about Calm, which is our sponsor. It's the #1 meditation and sleep app. We have a lot of users on this show here who say wonders about it. It's done wonders for them. Jimmy likes rain. Sherrod,
like
I'm
rain.
not sure. Yeah, he likes the rain.
I'm on the range.
I go with the thunderstorm.
Yeah, thunderstorm.
Yeah, a
to
little
the next
thunder.
level.
Keep it interesting.
So you've got, again, this is sleep and meditation. You get rain, falling on leaves, bedtime, sleep stories, all sorts of things. The idea is that it puts you to sleep within minutes. You feel better. You feel relaxed, rested. It's endorsed by LeBron James and the Garden Report, so you can't go wrong. Calm.com/garden for a limited time. Get 40% off a premium subscription. So like I said,
They even do like music too. If you just want like a chill music
Yeah.
playlist, toss it on while you're making dinner or whatever. It's pretty cool.
go for it. Unlock content to help you focus, ease stress, and sleep better. Once again, calm.com/garden, calm.com/garden. We are very
Calm.com.
calm tonight because we're digging the effort from the Celtics. There's nothing to be angry about. And no one gets to say one bad thing tonight. And those are the rules, right?
Look at Jimmy.
It's so hard to do that, but I'll try.
Nobody gets to say anything.
Did tonight make you feel better about them overall?
From an effort standpoint, for sure.
No, just their
That's all
outlook.
that matters. Right now.
Offensively, I'm still really worried. But I mean, look,
Effort is all that matters. Right. One thing at a time, John. One thing at a time.
Well, what do
Yeah.
you guys think? This
Effort.
is always when you're on the receiving end of a game like this. If the Celtics were the Heat right now, they'd be saying, "Oh, what a terrible offensive effort." So in Miami, do they feel stifled by the Celtics defense, or that they just couldn't hit anything? You got Duncan Robinson missing open threes. You had some open looks there missed as well. So Miami clearly did not have a good game. How much of it was a Celtics defensive pressure, and how much of it was just a brutal off night by the Heat? It's always hard. It's always hard to gauge. I don't want to take anything
they're
away from
not
the Celtics.
I
They're
mean,
not
Duncan
great-
Robinson missed some
Yeah.
pretty makeable shots. I think it's always a little bit of both. You got to give the
Always is.
Celtics credit. You
I know,
got to
he
give the
hit
Celtics
3 in the
credit,
first
but
quarter,
Yeah,
too.
it is a little bit of both, but I'm willing to give the Celtics a little
I
bit.
like the
more of
effort, so
credit.
I'm giving them the credit too.
That's,
Yeah.
and that's
that's
why,
fair.
because they did the one thing that we've been bitching and moaning about them not doing enough of, which is play with great effort. And it seemed that no matter who they put on the floor, that's what they were given. Even when they weren't making shots, even when they were, getting beat up around the basket, they were playing hard. And that, to me, win or lose, at the end of the day, that's all you really want. You just want them to actually play like they care. Play with, as we talked about, play with some pride.
Right. And I thought the second unit just came in and they just went. They went
They
went
had
to
a
work.
stretch. Yeah, they had a
They went to
stretch where
work.
they had nothing but backups on the floor, which you never see.
Exactly, which
And they
used
actually-
to
and they
terrify
didn't
Celtics fans, right?
Yeah,
Right.
and they didn't get their asses kicked. They
The
actually
second
played
unit
pretty good.
came in. Obviously, we talk about Romeo, we talk about Neesmith, but Schroeder too. I mean, at the end of that run to go into halftime, I mean, he did his job too, keeping the Heat on their heels. You know, I thought the transition offense, you know, they were pushing it. You know, the Heat couldn't keep up, and obviously they have fresh legs, so that's their job. That's what they're supposed to do. But we haven't seen that outside of Schroeder. We don't see that kind of production for the second unit. So you know that went a long way for this team. But again, effort at the end of the day, it was contagious, and I thought that's something that I just want to see from this team. I said this last night, right? Win or lose, just give me effort. Just give me a well-fought game, and we got that and then some.
Yeah.
And Miami, 15 turnovers a game, you force 18. But really, holding Hero to 6 as he's averaging 22 to start this year,
He's had a great
that's
season.
no joke.
Yeah.
I heard before the game that he had the most points ever through the first 7 games for a player off the bench. That's crazy. And then you hold him to 6.
Yeah.
That is wildly impressive. We talked about him a lot yesterday and how hard he is to hold down, and they just completely took him out of the game. He was minus 32.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, he's not right. This is going
He's
to
not
be
Luka.
He's definitely no Luka. Ah, damn it, Sherrod. Damn it. I was gonna say he's no Luka or even Trey, but
this one's going to be in his head for a while. This was a real wake up call game for Hero tonight.
Yeah, so that was impressive.
He got punked pretty
got
good.
humbled.
He got punked.
he got humbled.
Punked, but
He got
he
humbled.
seems like the type of guy who's just going to shake it off and go out there and do his thing again. But I mean, I'm sure is there a little bit of a blueprint against him after this game? Sure, I'm sure teams are going to watch that film and circle some things that worked that the Celtics did. But Jaylen Brown is also, when he wants to be, great defender. So player that can keep up with him and put a body on
I love
him.
JB clapping his hands on him too. That was a great.
I love
sequence
that.
there.
I want to see that all the time.
I gotta talk to Max about that. That was always his biggest thing. When one of these guys gonna get in someone's face, we finally got it. I think it's the first time.
Yeah, Langford had a good contest on him in the corner when he got caught behind a screen. The defensive effort tonight was just so much better. In transition, Bam's one of those guys. I think he's like a top 5 to 10 scorer in transition this year. Neesmith like sprinting back to tip the ball off him. That play was awesome. There was just so many great effort plays in this
Rob
one.
on the one where he hit the deck and kind of tripped up Adebayo a little bit. They didn't call it, but he caused the turnover there. That was a really good play there. Rob was really active with his hands, tipping away rebounds. Tatum had active hands on the boards too.
Tatum had a good defensive game,
keeping balls alive, tapping them to other people. But effort and alert, with the exception of Neesmith, who just effort. Like most of it was like
nothing.
It was great, man. He was a freaking maniac.
Yeah. This team has enormous defensive potential. You hold Orlando to 79 one night, and then, Miami's on a world beater on offense at 78. Like, that's crazy in the modern NBA. This is
Didn't
awesome.
you think Richardson would be part of their lockdown defensive plan, though?
Yeah, but I think he's just such a bad fit on the offensive end of the floor that it makes it awkward. Like,
so you saying that his offense is preventing him from playing? How interesting.
I definitely think so.
I'll have to dig back some texts.
Might have to go back on some texts and talk about offense versus defense. But yes.
Hey, he's been good on defense, disruptive, getting his hands on balls. But when you have a team like this that seems to get down on defense when they're missing shots on offense, you can't have a guy who just doesn't seem to have a jump shot, and they're kicking him out to him. And
who is this guy?
Percentage-wise, he's been fine from 3, but he doesn't take a lot of them. He gives up a lot of them and goes to that 12, 15-foot range. His offensive game's just so awkward and reliant on the ball. And again, I thought it would be Pritchard. If it's Neesmith who ends up jumping him, great. If it's Langford, you'd like to see some of these young guys step up and kind of just put him on the bench the way Cantor's been at this point. But for now, Richardson's still probably going to be the shoo-in guy there.
Bobby was hoping to see some Pritchard tonight.
Yeah, I am too.
I'm fine with anybody. Any one of those guys stepping up. They just need somebody.
Look, wing depth is an issue. You want to see those guys play because that's what you need. You need guys who can come in and spell the Jays because they can't be on the court all the time. And you need them to hold up their end of the bargain, which is Aaron provides some energy and a little bit of offense, and then Romeo has to do what he's been doing, which is stick those three, be a 3-and-D guy. That's literally all you want Romeo to be, a 3-and-D guy off the bench. The fact that he's hitting threes with much more confidence this year makes him playable 100% as a type of guy that you absolutely want on your team and can have value for you. They haven't had it, and they've been dying for it. So again, it fills a need. You just got to, kind of do what he's been doing. I think you'll take this from Romeo every single night.
Romeo back to the summer, the 3-pointer looks much better.
So much better, and he's confident stroke. Yeah.
That first one he knocked down, he was damn near up court before it went through the net.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, he shot
and
was
then let's say we add
totally different.
Let's say we add Neesmith's numbers from late last year, the summer league experience he had, and even the rough start early this year. I'd say he's probably right around 40% from.
He's just got to chill a little bit, man. I don't know what it is. Why does he get so freaked out when it's a real game? Like, I get it. He thinks he's earning his way onto the court through his hustle, so he ratchets it up to a zillion miles an hour, but then he can't control it, when he needs to. He can't harness
That's something
it.
he'll learn, because a lot of NBA players will tell you that pace of play is very important. Change of pace, change of speed out there. You don't always want to be going 110%. Sometimes you want to go 60. So then when you go 90, you blow right by the dude.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Watch Romeo. He goes 30 half the time.
Right. Yeah, right. So it's two extremes there, I guess. You want to find a happy medium.
Romeo's face is going 20%.
They need a little bit of this though, because Smart's not giving you this end-to-end anymore through a game. This is the only guy on the roster who's just diving and throwing himself everywhere and causing chaos in the process. It might not always work out rotationally and within the flow of the defense, which is what I think the last two coaches really don't like about him. It's all right, stop flailing your arms and running all over the place. Just be in the right position from the start. But it's helping right now in a team that needs a little bit of energy. And for a guy to be sprinting back in transition, you don't see much of that on this roster. So I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Consistent, though.
That's it for us. See ya.
I don't know if it's going to be consistent. That's the problem.
But now you have to defend again against Dallas, because you know what's coming with that. A lot of offense.
Well, they're in the tank offensively this year.
They suck.
No,
they're brutally bad. Their offensive numbers are brutal.
Jalen Brunson now. Come on, man.
Brunson's nasty.
You know what they're capable of.
Last night? Come on, give him that one, John. Come on.
He punked you in the summer league too, didn't he? Didn't Brunson?
No, he didn't punk me.
No, he's not in summer.
Not you personally. He wouldn't go near you, but I'm thinking of somebody else then. Oh, maybe Suggs. I was thinking of Suggs.
Oh, I think you're thinking of.
All right.
No, it wasn't Suggs.
It was Davion Mitchell.
Maybe. I don't know.
The Mavs are weird this year. Mavs 5-3 with a -5 point differential, scoring only 101 points a game. Offensively, they've been really, really struggling this year.
Yeah, Luka's one of those guys getting killed by the new rules. He was one of those leaners. He was.
Good. I don't care. Good.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for those people.
At all.
Because James Harden's out there, no.
Better for the game. I hope they stick with it.
The game's
they're
definitely
too
better
good
for it.
not to figure it out. They will, but
they'll adapt.
I don't miss that bullshit at all.
No way.
It's such a better looking game now.
And it's such a drop off in general. This is why we're having 98 to 73 games or whatever this one was final. There's a just drop in fouls in general.
It's
There's
still
a
the pace of play is still better.
Yeah, and the pace is up still. You still have 3-point shooting, which is great. Hey, and once everybody adjusts and settles down, I'm sure we'll find some medium here. I don't think they'll be calling no fouls all year. But as long as they keep those leaning ones out forever, I think everybody's going to be happy, because that was just such nonsense.
Yeah.
Schroeder had one that was close on Lowry earlier in this game, but he didn't lean. Lowry just kind of came into him and swiped him on the side.
Mm-hmm.
So guys just have to stop leaning like that, because they're not going to get it. We saw Fournier on opening night try it. I think a couple Celtics have tried it here or there, but fortunately for Boston, that's not something any of these guys really ever did. So it hasn't affected them as much.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good night.
Thanks for coming out.
Look, John, if you want to bounce, I get it. All right? Back-to-back nights, I get it.
That's what happens when you win. We have less to talk about, right?
No, but it's good. Like I said,
Like he's mad that they won. I can't believe they won tonight. Damn.
no,
What are we going to bitch about? Damn it.
Yeah, I had a whole agenda set.
We didn't talk much about Tatum, did
this
we?
is the dream
Yeah, we
game.
did.
Like Tatum's tough,
Yeah,
but
we
the
did, you're right.
dream game for you is to see the contributions from people like you saw tonight, because it gives you hope that there's something better out there. Like I said, is the idea.
We gotta wait
behind
for
playing-
Tatum to talk at least.
Yeah. The idea behind playing the kids last year was you knew what you had in everyone else. Well, you have some idea what you have here. The only potential ceiling raisers on this team are the guys who we don't know what their ceiling is yet. So we're not saying it's going to be high, but every time they play well, it gives you a little bit more life and a little bit more hope, because you're like, maybe there's another gear there. Maybe they turn into something we haven't seen yet. And so every time they play well, I'm really buoyed by it, because it's like, oh, good. Give me another one. So I'm dying to see them repeat the performance, because that's the key there. You have to get better from within, because the guys they brought in this offseason, like I said, is you got Richardson, you know what Schroeder is, fine. They're competitive professional players, but these guys playing meaningful minutes would be a huge boost
Right.
for
And
this
you
team.
also, same thing we said last year, you want to see if you can build any sort of trade value for any of these guys, any asset at all that you have, because you don't really have much. And like Schroeder's not an asset. He's a 1-year guy, and you can go down the list of guys that are playing well, and they aren't necessarily assets, but you need some of these younger guys like Langford and Neesmith, and you need a guy like Rob to play better, because right now I don't know how much of an asset he is. So these are the things that you look for, and tonight's not going to make any GM be like, oh yeah, these guys are guys that we want, but the more you string together, the more that people will take notice, and the more maybe you will be able to include if something comes up whether it's this season or in the off season.
Yeah, John, to update our conversation last night about the Bam Adebayo and Robert Williams matchup.
Yeah,
he might be onto something about the whole lift thing. He's hesitant. There's a couple of plays where all he has to do is just go straight up. You got the ball, you have the pass, and it's like as soon as you see his arms coming towards him, he's looking to make another pass. I'm like, go straight up with that. Like, I thought he was beyond that, John. I thought he was already past that, but I can't help but wonder if this is him still trying to get his legs, a health thing, but he was afraid to go straight up with
He
those
looked
guys.
tired.
He's had a few Simmons moments around the rim.
He's had a few Simmons moments around the rim, right?
You
don't want the big man to be afraid of the rim. That's not a good thing.
No, especially when you're a team that doesn't take any shots at the rim. And there's a guy that shoots 70% in there. You want him taking as many shots point blank range as possible. And we thought maybe he'd get that little like dribble, pull up inside close, like a few moves to maybe create for himself around that area. But on a team that's struggling to create, and on a situation where he's not getting the lift or burst in the lane, I mean, he's not escaping from guys in the pick and roll at all.
Right.
You watch that tape of him against Tony Bradley, and Bradley's just staying with him the whole way, breaking up those passes. Guys are slapping balls off him when they're trying to feed him in there. Something's up, John. Something. Like, I think he's playing solid in spite of it all, but like, you're just not even seeing the flashes that you saw in the past. Like, it is real what's going on with him in terms
whatever
of,
it is, though, Coach, Udoka wants him to play through it, because the one thing, the biggest difference, I think, between this year and last is his minutes, staying on the floor. Oh, and also not getting to foul trouble, right? Remember those days? Remember when he couldn't play over 25 minutes because he was stacking
you'll
up
take this trade off. Like, tonight was a good night with 10 rebounds.
In 6 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The Grant.
He was over he hit like the 11-minute mark, with 0 fouls, not even that deep into the second half. I mean, into the first half. Like, Ime stuck with him for a lot of that first half, and he was all right. So I'll take this. Yeah, for sure, Bobby. I will, because as he adjusts, we can't wait to see if he can revert to showing that same athleticism and that same lift that we saw last season.
This is Rob's conditioning season. Just get to the end.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great way to put it, actually, because at the end of the day, like, you're going to need him in the best of 7 series. You're going to need him in the second half when you're fighting for the 4th or 5th seed or whatever the Celtics will be. We'll see, but
we're running a poll right now on this YouTube. I guess these guys put it. We're running a poll right now. Who would you be interested in seeing? Do you guys tell me what you think the results are here?
What's the question?
Who would you? I'm telling you.
He's about
Oh,
to.
well, you stopped in the middle of it, but go on.
Who would you be interested in seeing appear as a guest this season on the Garden Report? Kendrick Perkins, Bob Ryan, Jeff Goodman, Nick Gelso.
Kendrick Perkins.
Kendrick.
I'm
What
going
do
to
you-
say Nick
what-
Gelso.
Sherrod
say
said without
Nick
the camera on.
Oh my God! I was just sitting on my couch.
What do you think?
the other-
What do you think the numbers are?
I think they're probably heavily in favor of Perkins or Gelso,
I think
one or
so
the
too.
other.
It's gonna be Perkins because that's the one face you don't see
I
often.
think I think it'll be at least half for Perk, about 30% for Nick.
No, it's Perk by a 79% Perk.
All right,
That's
all right.
kind of a tough.
That
I
makes
mean, there
sense.
was
Yeah.
no
half,
one
of
else.
those, half of those voters were probably on with us that night. when we
Who's
had
in
it.
last?
And half of them are Nick.
Yeah.
No, Nick's voting himself. What you mean? Nick's voting.
Yeah.
Where's Jimmy
I
going
know
negative? Who came in last? Who was dead last?
Yeah, I just want to know.
I
Who
don't.
did
We
that?
don't say. We don't play that game. We're
You
just
can't
telling
put
you
it-
who's first.
Well,
You
can you
can't
see
put
it?
Come on.
Oh, the
We want
results aren't
winners.
there.
I'm
We
not
wanna-
telling
we
you
wanna
who's
talk
last.
about
We're
the
just
winners,
talking
Jimmy.
about who's first.
I
This
thought
is
the
the
results
All-Star
were
game?
available
Throw-
for everybody.
Who's
That's all.
last?
I don't know. I didn't see. I left it.
You can
Anyway,
throw a player
everybody's
in
a
there. Shaq.
winner.
I mean, come on. Perks
everyone's a
is
winner.
Wait,
There's no
I-
losers here. Okay.
I was sitting
Everyone's
on
a
my
winner.
I was sitting on my couch the other day, and the TV was just playing in the other room, and I hear Perk go, "Marcus Smart has lost his damn mind." I just started laughing my ass off. Oh my God, he's too funny.
Yeah.
Perk.
No, it's great. We might. We always try. We might try to get Perk on again. I know we
Perk
had
was
him.
right about the Brad stuff last year.
We
Remember
had him on Green Room a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
he was shooting the
fun.
shit with us for a while. I think we did like 2 hours with him on there, something crazy.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
He didn't want to
He
leave.
he was relentless. That was fun.
He's
That
the
was a lot of
best.
fun.
He was going toe to toe with some fans. I think some fans were kind of like
You got to
stunned.
put some. You're gonna say that. You got to put some
Yeah.
bass in your voice. That was the.
Yeah.
that
All
was
right,
the
no,
best.
no Tatum tonight.
Someone's friends hasn't let him live that down. Like, yo,
You
Perk-
got to
Yeah,
put
for
some
sure.
bass in your.
Yeah,
And he's like,
bass in
the
that
kid's like, oh my God, Kendrick Perkins took my question.
fanning.
First
Man,
off,
like,
you got to put some. You
By-
got to
by
put
the way,
some
no,
bass in your voice.
No Tatum tonight.
and then he didn't
Dennis
speak
Schroeder.
after that. He didn't want to continue to
The
that.
kid died. Kurt,
Yeah.
he was just
Poor guy
He was
hasn't.
like, he was like, thanks, Perk.
body bagged him before he even answered his question.
He never saw another green room for the rest of his life.
That's it. The kid's still on the
What
phone. He hasn't put it down yet. He's like, oh my God, what just happened to me?
Perk
Like
kind of
he's
took it to
going
me
out.
on something too, didn't he? I can't remember what it was.
Probably.
Yeah, he probably did. I think he thought you were a guest.
Yeah.
He just was like, he just went at it.
Yeah.
So we're back at it Saturday, right?
Yeah,
In Dallas.
Saturday at it's probably somewhat of an early game.
Saturday Dallas. Who thinks Ime did a better
It's
job
not.
tonight?
It's an 8:30 game.
It's an
I don't-
8:30
I
game.
think Ime's been doing a good job all along.
Sherrod
the
said no.
defense-
Bobby said yes. You guys fight.
I
God.
don't think he did a better job because the change that we saw was effort. It wasn't execution. It was effort, and that's more times than not a function of the players, not the coach.
Yeah, no, I haven't had a problem with Ime all along. I think
No.
the systems have been fine. Everything he's preaching, we agree
What about the
with.
switching?
You know what?
Switching's gotten good.
This game wasn't the. I think the last 2 or 3 games they've done a better job of picking and choosing. When
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Before,
not.
they were
It's
switching
not
every
automatic.
They were
Yeah.
switching every single time the ball was moved. They're switching, and now you're seeing Tatum, you're seeing Brown, you're seeing all those guys,
And they're
stay
switching
attached
back.
with their guys a
Yeah.
little bit more.
Yeah.
And when they're doing the switch, they're switching to matchups that make sense. Like if someone is trying to switch with you and get Al on like Jimmy Butler, you can live with that because Al's going to do a decent job on him. He's not going to block his shot per se, but he's going to at least contest it and not get blown away.
Yeah.
But they were switching everything before, and now I think part of
Last
that now,
2
if you wanna
games.
give- yeah, if you want to give Ime some credit for that, I can kind of buy that because he's been preaching to them that you need to that we're switching everything. But I think he's tweaked and said, "Wait a minute, I didn't mean every damn time the ball moved we switch. Switch
Right.
when it makes sense." That's what they're doing now, and I think that's a function of them embracing what he's talking about and figuring out how to make what he wants them to do work with what they need to do.
Yeah, I was never worried about this adjustment period because it was to be expected, especially when you think about what this team was last year and the bad habits on offense. What he thought that one training camp and a few preseason games was gonna solve all that? I didn't think so. I mean, to a certain extent, I didn't expect this whole like players only meeting or Marcus Smart to be calling people out in week 2. But at the same time, I don't think that falls on Ime. I think a lot of that is just stuff from the past that's carried over. But Ime obviously has to be the guy to keep that stuff in the past. And this small sample size is so far so good in my opinion. I haven't had any problems with it.
And again, the commenters are pointing it out, but more Romeo, more Neesmith makes it a little bit easier. To switch off there because when you're switching with Grant in the lineup, that's a problem. When you've got, a Pritchard or someone like that, it depends who's out
You'd
there.
love to see a wing step up on this team. You don't have to be double big all the time.
We just saw it tonight.
We just saw 2 of them do it tonight, Bobby.
Bobby, come on.
Consistently.
Damn it, Bobby, come on.
Yeah, how many times have we done this?
Damn it, Bobby.
Did we just see one positive tonight?
How many good Neesmith Langford games have we seen? And it's like, all right, what's going to happen in 2 days?
They won't play them. Now they did.
We saw them. Look, I'll tell you this. Neesmith and Romeo have played good games at the same time as many times as Tatum and Brown have this season.
Ooh. Well played, Boomer.
Where's the lie?
Which is once.
True.
Hey, can't deny that.
Hey, I think we just found our captains, boys.
Wouldn't that be the best? They'd both be like,
hey, they'd accept it. They'd be excited about it.
Oh, man.
Get the obnoxious C on the side, too.
Yep.
They would be the first captains in NBA history to register more DNP CDs than games played.
That would be the best.
For
I
sure.
would love it if he made.
I don't know.
Said
is Jonas Haslam
we are going with 2 captains.
That would be great. Yeah. Honestly, this season, don't put it past them.
Yeah. 2 captains, and they're both wings.
I need a new light bulb.
Jimmy's out.
I need a new light bulb. This thing's gone off 3 times tonight.
Wow. At least Brockton Wi-Fi goes on and off.
Wi-Fi has been strong to very strong tonight. I will say
Strong
that.
to quite strong.
Unlike John's. I don't know what happened in John.
It blinked out.
You froze at a very unfortunate time, and people had some fun with it, just so you know.
I bet.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of went right into
First
it.
time.
We didn't just I don't know. I feel like we could have gone Zannis with it, but we didn't.
We didn't, but the commenters did their thing.
Oh, that's fine. Let them have their fun.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I'm just glad it was you and not me this time.
It stays up there for a while until it goes down on its own.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, exactly. For like 70 seconds. For like 70 seconds straight.
What can you do?
Yep.
And then it finally just fades.
What can you do? All right, guys, we've been going about an hour. I think we've covered as much as we're going to cover. So I'll give you guys a one round of final thoughts, which end up usually spawning an extra 20 minutes. But go ahead.
This will be quick, and it's going to be quick because I don't want to gas his head up anymore. But Zannis actually spoke to my class today, and more than one student said it was like the best speaker that I've had in this semester.
Wow. You don't want to gas him, though?
I don't want to spend much time gassing his head about that, but
why don't you talk to us like that? You can inspire us reporters.
Sherrod, what did he have to say?
We talked about podcasting, and he was good. He was good.
I'll tell you this, though. It's good that they only get to listen to me once because I emptied both barrels. I got nothing left. If they brought me back for a second time, they'd be like, this guy's
one trick pony.
It was like Jason Tatum's 60
all you
game.
need.
Everything he shot in was just like one. And I'm just sitting there thinking, like,
see, you got nothing left.
Yeah.
Damn.
Where did this come from?
So now what? So Sherrod, you got to do his class next? Is that how it works?
I've done his class before.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh,
you
yeah.
have.
Are you kidding? I hit Sherrod up every time. He speaks early and often in my classes. He's done it I think he did it twice last semester, once again here. So, but this was good. It was fun, honestly.
I can't wait for the nod.
I'll tell you one thing. If any of my, one great thing, every one of his students, when they asked a question, said, "Thank you so much for joining the class." They were so well behaved.
And honestly, God, I've never ever told them to do that.
I was like, I thought you had them well trained. That was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, the cue cards up. Make sure you say thank you.
It was good. No, it was
Good.
good. It was fun. It was fun. It was a good
job.
class.
Good
group.
job.
Yeah.
Poisoning our youth. Good job.
I said
You and that damn black, Jimmy. Never wear black on this damn show again.
Over my 25 years of media experience, I've accumulated just enough to be able to talk to a class for about 55 minutes.
You
That's
could
all
talk.
I've got. That's all I've got.
No,
What do you say? Like,
a lot of
not
people
once
don't know
have
this.
I've ever heard like.
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but Zannis has been
Be a mentor, damn it. Like,
Zannis has been sneakily
something.
forming people's sports thoughts for the last 20 years. They don't even know it. He's like the brain. People don't even know why they have the
wizard
take.
Behind the damn curtain or something
Exactly.
like this. Wizard of Oz.
Hey,
Exactly.
we know on those off nights, the commenters show up and they're like, geez, where is he? Where is he?
Yeah.
Bring him on. Let's go.
You know, like when you hate what he says, and then like a month later, you're like, damn it, he might have been right. I don't know if he's right or if he just said it enough times where I believe
it. Took a whole season on Kemba.
You got to just wait it out. You got to wait it out. Anyway, about this game, final thoughts, Bobby.
Schroeder's a guy I'm interested in at this point in the season after taking in the whole experience with him for about 7-8 games now. I haven't been blown away. You know, he puts up a shot and you're like, all right, like this isn't going in. Anywhere you look on the floor. He gets downhill, which is good. He finds guys in the lane. But overall, the defense hasn't been that impressive. He's someone that I don't think they can get away from. And his play is really going to be a barometer for them, it feels like. Solid tonight. Held his own on Hero. Switch good, all that different kind of stuff. When he's gotten taken to by Dinwiddie, when he's been way off in the field, it's sunk this team's fortunes. And that Chicago game, I thought, was another example. So a little too much dribbling at times. Needs to step it up overall defensively, I feel like. But this guy doesn't feel like they can escape him, and the play has been all over the place so far in good ways and bad. So I think what the Lakers fans went through, the Celtics fans are definitely about to go through with Dennis Schroeder.
Look, I mean, that's why he was there, right? I mean,
but I think with this team, I think you take the good with the bad. You know, it actually leads into
he has value.
To my point, because at the end of the day, that second unit, that production, whatever combination it takes, they need that, you know, right now, in the future, and they need to get comfortable in these situations to go out there and produce. And Schroeder's the one guy who he's like, bring it on. You know, he's ready to not only provide that energy, but to go for 20 if he really wants to.
And he makes stuff happen.
I don't think I don't think he's one of those guys, though. I don't think he's been one of those guys where it's like, oh, he's going for 20 every night, or he's being selfish with the ball. Yes, he does dribble a lot, but at the same time, he's looking for other guys. You know, he's trying to set guys up, and he's
consistently He's consistently the nightly leader in assists, and he's always energy. He's just got flaws in his game. He's not a terrific shooter. He sometimes will take ill-advised shots, but like he had that terrible stretch where everybody on Twitter, probably myself included, was like, "Get this dude out of the game," and then he slaps down, like breaks friggin' PJ Tucker's thumb, gets the ball at one end of the basket like a bullet, flies down coast to coast, puts in a bucket, stems like that little streak there where the Heat were kind of coming back.
That was huge.
Just like that. It was a huge play. And like he just made it happen just with speed and aggression. And you need that sometimes. I will take some of the bad. There's going to be nights where you're like, oh my God, get this guy out of the game.
And there's nowhere to go. That's going to be the most frustrating
nowhere to go.
thing. Yeah.
The thing I like about him,
Pritch is there like,
yeah. The thing I like about him is he's not timid. He's not scared out there. He'll drive to the rim. He'll get fouled. He'll get hit. He'll go, you know, like you said, slap the ball at PJ Tucker's hand.
He'll get in somebody's face.
He'll get somebody's grill right in their face. So like, I'm cool with that. I mean,
game one.
Yeah, I know his shot can be a little off.
He was slapping hands with Jimmy Butler at a jump ball too. You know, like he's like, you know, I love that.
Oh yeah, I'm fine with that too.
He's a sneaky good help defender. Like if you notice, when guys turn their back, he finds that blind spot.
Flashbacks to Rondo, man. 2012 Rondo. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's worth the money. I mean, you're getting a steal with what you're paying and what he's producing.
There's no doubt.
Killing me, bro.
There's no doubt that you're thrilled he's here, but you're also gonna see why he's here at certain points. So it's gonna be a fun ride with him, and it was for the Lakers fans. Like you just ask any Lakers fan about that experience last year. They were ready to drive him out of town at the end, but I thought he was great for them throughout stretches of the year.
How many players do we currently have? The Celtics currently have where their last name is followed by the word experience. You have the Marcus Smart experience. You have the Dennis Schroeder
Rob.
experience. The Aaron Neesmith experience.
But we knew this year's
Absolutely.
gonna be so fun.
Experiment.
This is
That's
why we
probably-
have a show.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
these guys is like you're riding. It's the full ride. Keep your hands and feet inside the compartment. You know, like
No, but John, this is our plot lines right here, right? This is our, we get to break this down. Like this is the
It's a
plot is there, the
turbulent-
plot twist. There's so many
Yeah.
plot twists in
How
there.
about the Celtics experience? 6-7 games in, we get the team meeting on ESPN. Like it's
Yeah.
a whole deal with this team.
Yeah, right.
4 years in.
NBA countdown, Woj bombs in the first half.
yeah.
It's like, what's going on in the water in Boston?
It is. It's gonna age us. We're gonna need a whole lot of what?
Calm.com.
We're gonna need a whole lot of calm.
Oh,
Throughout the course of the season, calm.com, sleep and meditation at the it's boomer bedtime, guys. Okay. It's past 11.
time to wind
Okay.
down. Put on that sleep.
What's funny
skate.
is like Bobby and I are gonna be texting each other at 3:30 in the morning still.
I can't get
Our
over it.
Romeo
I'll wake up in the morning. I look at my text and be like, "Thank God I slept through this
I
conversation."
sleep like 2 hours a night. Like that's literally 3 hours maybe. I sleep
Yeah, it's
so
bad.
little.
That's your average.
I
Somewhere around
honestly,
there.
my average is about 4.5 hours. It's
That's
terrible.
banana land.
This is
terrible.
why you need calm.
Yeah, that's why you need calm.
This is
Calm
what it's all
down,
about.
calm.
You take naps throughout the day. You ever get like a little power nap in?
Nah, I just go, man.
Nah, you
I just go.
You're just a zombie.
Calm.com/garden, 40% off a Calm premium subscription. And that's it. Go get some.
I didn't
Number
get
one
my-
app for sleep and
All right.
meditation. I'm sorry, Jimmy. You do your thing. But I wanted to give one final
No,
shout
yeah,
out
I'm
to
all
Calm.
about calm, and I know I mentioned earlier, but the music playlist is actually pretty sweet. It's got some like lo-fi stuff. You can just kind of toss it on. You don't have to be worried about your Spotify going all over the damn place. So it's a good addition to the options that you have to choose from.
Shuffle
Yeah.
mode's dangerous for Jimmy. Never know where it's
You
gonna
can get all
go.
over the place. I'm a playlist guy. I know what I'm getting myself into. Generally speaking. Cute children's book, yeah. Boomer bedtime. It's just a lot of like.
Bedtime. That's good. That's my first. That's my.
They're
first
gonna
children's
put you
book.
on right next
It's just
to
a lot of
LeBron.
gripes. It's just if you fall asleep to gripes, then yeah, boomer bedtime is awful. I
We
can't
have
believe this.
the Grant experience, I guess. The Grant experience
yeah.
is usually bad. You know what? Cantor's an experience too.
Grant. Oh my god.
We haven't even seen the Cantrix.
Who?
That could be the
Who?
biggest experience of all.
Who's Cantor?
Grant
Yeah,
started
we
this
need to
year
keep an eye
so
on him.
good,
I'm worried about
and
it.
he just came crashing back down there. He was like 57%.
I
from
know.
three.
I said we weren't going to say anything bad, but if we were, I was just going to make you talk about Grant tonight. But I decided not to. The Garden Report
I would have
experience.
been more than happy.
Ride the
Yes.
wave.
That's what it is.
Jimmy, what do you got?
Oh, my final thought. 13 months ago, the Celtics lost to the Heat in the
Very
bubble.
good,
It
Jimmy.
feels like 13 years ago.
7 seasons ago.
But it was only just over 1 year ago. And going into tonight, I couldn't believe where these two
Yeah.
teams were at. Like, they were on complete opposite ends of the spectrum. So I feel a little bit better than I did, but I still can't believe that it's only been 13 months since the Celtics were upset by the Heat, by the way.
Yeah.
They were supposed to win that series. And since then, I can't even pick one thing that's gone right for the Celtics. So maybe tonight is a different turnaround. Maybe this was the closure that they needed. I don't know, but I was blown away when I realized it was only 13 months, and I was pretty down going into this game. I feel like I'll at least sleep tonight. Shout out Calm, but also shout out to the fact that the Celtics showed up, and that's all we can really wanted them to do tonight, and they did. So
Yeah.
credit to them.
Cool. My only final thought. I'm tough on Tatum because I expect more, but I do think that it's not lack of effort. I think he's just in a really bad spell right now. Something's not going right, but I think everything that he's doing is for the purposes of winning. I don't buy the narrative that Tatum's some sort of stat hound and this and that. I just think in order to get himself out of a funk, he just tries to shoot his way out of it. He's got to get it. He's got to
I
find
think the
a way.
Jays care a lot. Yeah.
I think they care a lot. And so I do think he catches a lot of heat because the expectation level is really high. But I do believe that the frustration in him tonight is he really wants to do well. so the team can win and do better. And I thought tonight, instead of get down, when shots weren't falling, he put more effort and energy into other areas of his game, which is what you have to do when you're not shooting well, and then just wait for the shot to come around. There's other games where I felt it carried over. And I'm saying this even though he friggin' got a technical foul, which was, again, lack of maturity that you do want to get on him. But outside
That was
of
Ime,
that,
wasn't it?
I thought it went to
Ime.
Tatum.
I thought it was Ime.
My
but I
bad.
don't know.
My bad then. But I thought he channeled his energy towards other things and tried to make positive contributions elsewhere, as opposed to other games where I felt like he'd kind of get a little down and the effort would lapse a bit. So I'm going to, kind of give a, attaboy to Tatum for hanging in there, because it's got to be frustrating as F right now what he's going through.
Wow.
And that's it.
Just gave a little sticker star for Tatum.
Little sticker star.
A nod.
Participation award tonight.
Yeah.
That was sweet, John. Wow.
That was so out of character. I'm stunned by what I just heard.
Well, because like I said, we're saying nice things tonight.
It's gone too far the other way. Yeah.
And it's gone far.
I'm getting emotional.
This is gross. Get out of here. All right.
I'm trying.
What you guys don't see is Tatum behind John's computer holding a gun, pointing a gun at him right now. Now say it. Now say this.
Do I have to say that I like you?
So I'm just a whiny little star, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're really gonna make
He's
me
been watching this whole time. He knows
you're really
lying.
gonna make me say the thing about passing? Okay, all right, I'll do it. I believe it. I think it swung a bit too far, and I do think he is really trying. I think he's frustrated because that's his role. His job is to score, and he's not doing it. So I feel he thinks he's letting the team down right now because he's just he can't find it. Can't find it.
He's
at
his
all.
biggest critic.
Yeah.
That's his problem. He's too hard on himself. But he's too hard on himself during the game, and I think that sometimes makes things worse for him.
Yeah. So cross your fingers. Jaylen Brown is okay, and it really was minor, and just checking on it. We'll see. But other than that, back on Saturday against the Mavericks, 2-game win streak against the Florida teams here. This is as good as you could have hoped right now. So take it. Be happy. 4-5. Let's go. So for Sherrod, Bobby, Jimmy, Josue, we will see you guys. Most of us will see you guys on Saturday night. Good night.